Welcome to another despicable episode of the apocalypse. I am Nicholas, your humble guide. Look at me as your narrator and your guide for the apocalypse, the actual apocalypse. Let us begin. Oh, and before I begin, if you could be so kind as to hit the PayPal, I'd appreciate it. If you don't like that, use Zelle. You can use the email left at the top of the comments section, along with the PayPal link. If you like Zelle better. Anyway, let's begin. This is not the starting point. I don't know how this got here. Hold on. How did this happen? Wow, this is way off. Hold on. Okay. A Donny post at 8:15 a.m. that looks like this. Trump says both Xi Jinping and Vlad Putin personally assured him they would not sell weapons to Iran, adding that he takes them at their word, claiming he's doing Xi very big favors and warning that if they lied to him, it would be very bad for them. So I won't read the comment. We've gotten a translation from Midas Touch. Donny has watched on the news and has gotten the question from the press for a long time now. What about Vlad helping the Iranians? You know, the people who are fighting right now. Any thoughts on that? Oh, and what about China helping the Iranians? Any thoughts on that? Donny's gotten this question. He has no answer except to say, well, we're doing things too. Okay. So Donny's lying and trying to present the idea that he's not being played by Russia and China like a fucking jerk-off. He swears, and Russia swears, and Emperor Xi swears. So it must be true. Xi is a brutal dictator. Vlad Putin is a brutal dictator who has compromat on Donny's shitbags. Xi has Donny by the balls because he has the manufacturing of the world in his country. So if you say fuck you to China, you better move about 1 million factories somewhere else. So China has leverage over basically the entire world. So Donny knows he looks like a fucking jerk-off being played from both ends by Russia and China, helping the Iranians target our bases and data centers and whatever else they want to hit with literal precision. So Donny swears he spoke with both of them. They said they promised they won't sell weapons and they're not helping at all. That's what Donny says. That's not what China said later. China put out a statement later in response to this. Don't listen to Donny. He's a fucking idiot. And yes, we're very good friends with Iran. And no, we don't promise not to sell them weapons. China literally put that statement out shortly after this one. So Donny's reality is not, son, actual reality. That's why America is over and the world is over, because you voted for a fantasy, some racist utopia, some fucked up vision you had in your fucking head. Unfortunately, it's not reality. And most people don't think like you. Adolf Hitler's movement was a minority movement as well in number. The masses did not enjoy it. And the world was ash by the time he shot his worthless fucking self in a bunker. That was the result of your fantasy in 1939. So what will be the result of your fantasy now? For you are naught but Nazi 2.0. That is what your movement is, always was. Ruin, ash, Donnie dead in a bunker or in a lake perhaps. Literally. The end of this Reich, attempted Reich, your fantasy will be worse than the last one. By magnitudes. That's a promise. And I know what you do not. Never forget that. Donnie swears Vlad and Xi are not helping. China says, yes, we are helping. Fuck him. Donnie puts out another proclamation on truth money laundering. 1:06 p.m. We have a translation from the Kobayashi letter. President Trump says the U.S. has opened a 301 investigation into the practice of the EU robbing American companies. That would be the European Union. You know, who he wants to conquer with Vlad later, which was evident in 2015. Cuts! Trump says the EU will pay a very big price and a substantial tariff is expected to be imposed as soon as possible. Donnie's favorite grift, favorite word, favorite thing for 10 fucking years. Lining his pockets with tariff money. Since day one of the second term, there have been tariffs imposed at all times. Many are scheduled to run out. So Donnie's reimposing a bunch of new ones and pretending there's issues that require that. No, Donnie's pocket requires that. You know, the void that can never be full enough. He's already stolen billions from you. In a year and a half. Never had more money in his life than right fucking now. Thanks to you, the dumbass mock, who made him happen again. Permanently this time. Almost permanently last time. And he just would have brought us to ruin that much sooner. That would have been the only result had his coup been successful. So you forestalled the apocalypse, the end of it, for 4 years by electing Biden. That's all you did. Because you gave him the keys back, now the end is inevitable again. This time Donnie knows he can't really run again, so it's dictatorship. Planned before you gave him the keys. So the tariff grift back on Canada, tariff grift back on the EU, tariff grift back on others as well. You won't see a literal penny of that money. Unless you're a farmer that accepts welfare checks, you're not going to see a penny of it. It's not just Flock watching us. Skidio drone manufacturer is now in bed with 1,000+ police agencies nationwide. This person knows what they're talking about. Jason Bassler, the libertarian. I share none of their beliefs, except for a few. Skydio drone, that is Skydio, or Skydio, however you'd like to say it. I call it slavery. And a peeping Tom. That's what I call it. So another company to direct your hatred at, that would be Skydio. The newest peeping Tom on the list. Looking in your daughter's window. Literally. SFPD went from 6 drones to 98 in 2 years. Ramped up for the Donny shitbags era. Why would they do that? They all know where it's going. It's not like it's a fucking secret. It's obviously been planned for a while. The whole world is making it happen. By the whole world, I mean the governments around the world, all at once. That means it was a global plan by very powerful people. What they don't understand is Donny intends to take it all for himself. They think they can stop that. They can't. They thought they could stop that back in Adolf's day. They couldn't. There are now more than 6,000 plus police drone programs across the country. That number quadrupled in just 1 year. You know what that means? What I just read to you? Your country is over. Forever. I've never seen such a global push for a thing before as the surveillance apparatus. Imagine if there was such a global push to end hunger or homelessness or for some noble purpose. My God, what could be achieved? I've never seen cunts push harder against a wall to move it for Satan. What a goddamn shame. The whole globe at once, every person with more than 3 nickels in their pocket is pushing surveillance fucking state. Excuse me, surveillance globe, satanic utopia. Boy, the money was truly spread the fuck around, wasn't it? Satan spared no bloody expense. Every nation, every government worth mentioning, pushing as if their lives depended on it. What they don't know is they're pushing towards their own and mine fucking destruction. And I knew that 10 years ago. There will be no brilliant surveillance future. It will last 5 minutes. It will not be financeable. My God, the amount of cameras and data centers and electricity and water. It's endless. There's no way to pay for it. There's no way to sustain it. Drones, cameras, it's just redundant surveillance 1,000,000 times over. And every thought cataloged. It's impossible. They don't care. They got the devil on the brain, pushing the worthless automatons in that direction to ruin every second of our fucking lives. Do you think that will last? Cons of Satan, the billions of you I'm talking to, do you think that will last? No, it will explode and burn into fucking ash. What a fucking joke. I've never seen such a push by the entire world for a thing before. Again, I must say, what a shame it's in direct service of Satan instead of a noble, godly purpose. What a fucking shame. Trillions are being fucking thrown down the shitter for the police state to happen. My God, you fucking people. Bankrupt the entire earth for it. Steal every ounce of water and electricity. Till no one can afford their electric bill. You think I don't know where it's going? Till no one can afford a gallon of fucking gas. Fucking morons. 10 years ago, I knew you were all gonna die. Every dumb cunt pushing against the wall to put a camera in my goddamn car. Not to mention on a pole to watch schoolgirls. Because we all know what the real reason for the shit is. You goddamn pedophiles. Every rock we fucking lift up, we find another one of you cunts that's going to burn. So what are the cameras really for? Let's be honest. 5 minutes into the surveillance apparatus being up, we fucking hear of a vice president of a company looking at a girl's gymnastics room. And only a girl's gymnastics room. No other camera. Just that one. We've already caught a goddamn pedophile 5 minutes into the surveillance utopia. So what is it really for, son? I think you know the answer to that fucking question. Besides surveilling us and making every moment a goddamn misery, the whole planet pushing for it at once. Everyone with more than, I don't know, the tiniest bit of authority. It's astounding to watch. Do you know what you all are doing? Every one of you, every dumbass CEO, every dumbass surveillance peeping Tom company, every government worker, be ye liberal, right, whatever, you're all voting for it. Do you know what you're doing? Literally. You don't have to understand what I'm about to say. It's probably too late for you anyway. You're building the system that was prophesied thousands of years ago. And it's obvious. And none of it makes sense. None of it's sustainable or possible, yet you're doing it anyway. Almost as if you're not but a puppet in a supernatural event. That is obvious as well. Billions of zombies moving in unison towards one goal. A system imagined by Satan for thousands of years, prophesied by God to happen for God knows all. Knew everything every one of us were going to do, including his worthless imp. That's why he wrote it down. And we were able to see it beforehand. How I knew right now is the end of your world. The end of your country, my God, that's guaranteed. The world will have to wait and see, won't we? The country we can see go away before our eyes. What you all are doing, little children, is literally with your own two hands and with all your heart and with all your might, building the literal system that Satan imagined thousands of years ago when you were not even here, when you weren't even a thought. And you all moved like puppets on strings for thousands of years till we got to this moment. Even those of you that preached against this moment when elections were coming up. You're still building it. You're still forfeiting your soul. For I doubt God will take kindly to anyone that literally helped build the slave state, the Satan state, where every moment is filmed, every word is written down. Again, I must say, I've never seen such a push for a thing globally. That tells me it's supernatural right there. The globe and governments are never unified on such a thing as this, lest it be nefarious. And my God, is this nefarious? Whether they realize it or not, as they're thinking about their next election and the donations they need to get there. So you all are literally creating the beast system out of thin air. Without you, it could not be done. Satan cannot do it. He needs his human proxies to do it, to worship him, to build his system so he can be Son, omnipresent, like God. Without you, he could never have done it. You built it. Now you're taking everything that was built and giving it all to him and giving it all to Donnie. That's astounding. And it's obviously supernatural. And I could tell none of you have a clue what you're doing in government. You can't possibly know the result of you voting for the literal, 20-layer blanket surveillance police state for the entire globe. I know you think that'll only hurt us peons down here. But you're wrong. Utterly and completely. So you can't possibly understand that you're ushering in the destruction of this country, yourself, and the world. Right? Right. Now, Peter Thiel and Donnie and some of those people on that side of it, because I was mostly talking about the liberals right there, what I just said. They do know what's coming. That's why Greasy Pete, that is, Thiel, is out there giving speeches about how do we avoid this Armageddon part. We like the Antichrist part. He didn't quite say it that way. I'm telling you what he meant and what he thinks. We like the Antichrist part. We like the global government, the surveillance state, all that. We like the serving Satan part. But that Armageddon part, we got to have world peace so we can avoid that part, but we can still hold hands with the Antichrist and turn the world into a miserable Nazi police state, literally. Literal Nazism. It's what Pete and Leon learned in South Africa. That's why we're here. Part of the reason. Nazism was already in the CIA, George Bush Sr., all that. They weren't alone, let's put it that way, Greasy Pete. There's a reason the CIA let them in. Do you understand? Because they're like-minded, son. There's a reason Leon and Pete got elevated to where they are. And they never go away. Always more welfare coming their way. Truckloads. You must be CIA interlinked for that to happen. So, That Nazi problem was already in the CIA. So it makes perfect sense that Leon and Thale got invited in. It also makes sense, or has been revealed, via what Thale and Leon want, what Flock has as the infrastructure, Flock and those companies have put up, mostly Flock. That makes it quite evident, quite clear, that the CIA wanted this surveillance utopia for them, dystopia for us. And they'll heap the money on Leon and Thale and people like Cocaine Carp, Altman, all of them, until they get their dream. Understand, a lot of this problem we're in right now stems from the CIA. Because there was a Nazi problem in there. CIA always a right-wing organization. Never liberal, not even close. They had a Nazi problem, I could tell by George Bush Sr. and his New World Order speech. That revealed to me who he was, what groups he's in, what the CIA's about. So, you get a couple Nazi boys from South Africa. One of them comes from a rich family. I believe Thale's family had a little money too. And the CIA's like, yeah, come on in. We share ideology. We both want to take society to the same place. Funny enough, Epstein wanted to take it to this place too. Which is kind of funny because he's Jewish, but whatever. There are Jewish Nazis. There are Jewish racists, which makes no goddamn sense. Because white supremacy, that ideology, has since its inception, always been about Jew hate. Not just hating blacks and Latins and those people. Hating Jews, that's way up there on the priority list, son. Yet you get Jews that vote right-wing. You get Jews that have the same racist mentality, as if they're white, which they're not. Whites don't view them as whites. It makes no goddamn sense. If you're an ethnic minority, especially a Jew, to be down with the white supremacist ideology or party. Because that ideology and party, if they got their wish, would throw you in a camp. That's why you can't be down with it. Yet a lot of them are. It's astounding. I didn't mean to give this speech. It occurred to me, I've never seen such a global push for anything. And of course, it's got to be some horrible enslavement of us all. 9 layers of surveillance in our car at work, just fucking everywhere. Drones flying in the sky. Next stage is not just flying in the sky. Well, now they have the ability to kill you. That's where it was always going. And everybody instituting this system, down to the sheriff, local police department, they all know where it's going. They all have always known. You think they didn't know where it was going as the guns got bigger and the gear they wore over the decades got more military. They all knew where it was going eventually and what the purpose of it was. They dug it. They down. It's us versus them in their minds. That's how they look at us. I look at it this way. I just hope a cop doesn't ruin my day today. I don't look at it as us versus them, although I should. That's how they look at it, though. Because I know a cop ain't going to be there if someone pulls a knife on me when some real crime's going on. I know it'll be there to give me a seatbelt ticket or a speeding ticket or harass me. whatever. You've seen it on camera several times. That's what I expect from them. I don't see it as us versus them. I don't want to fight the police. Just want them to fuck off and stay out of my life unless someone's trying to fucking hurt me or commit a crime. But they're never there when that happens. Let me take a break. It's just so typical, man. You know, and everything's got to be typical every single day, every minute of every fucking day. And it never changes, and it's been the same for thousands of fucking years. That the entire globe is unified at once to usher in a slave state dystopia for all of us down here that they all think they'll be exempt from. The whole system will be hijacked by an animal named Donnie Shitbags. And I don't know how the whole world can't see that coming, or maybe some of them can and they don't care. It's like they're all zombies and they made this deal 100 years ago. When the Antichrist comes or when it's time to do the surveillance state, we just all got to agree to it, whether we're liberal or not. Even though it's a right-wing satanic idea, we just all have to go along because out of the blue, the tide just kind of switched, and you got Carney going along, you got the entirety of Europe going along. As much as they hate Donnie Shitbags, irrelevant. Completely opposite of what they all stand for, what they've all preached. They got into office, none of this was mentioned, none of this was talked about on the campaign trail. These liberals all got in office, Carney included. Next thing we know, they on board with the surveillance state. The right-wing Russell-Velt idea, the entire world, entire first world, Europe, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, America, all at once. So typical. The entire world unites in service of the devil. That's why this world blows and it needs to end, and that's why there's nothing here, man. I guess it was kind of inevitable it would end that way. The whole world in unifying grace. Son, you got your Ring camera on your front door. Hold on, before you even get out your house. You got your smart TV, you got your cell phone with a mic and a fucking camera. You got a bunch of other devices that data can be sucked from, that can be surveilled. You step to your front door, there's your Ring camera doing surveillance on you and the neighborhood for Greasy Pete Thale. Because I guarantee, motherfucker, he has backdoor access to your phone too. You step out onto the street, a flock camera is already tracking your movement. They don't just track cars, they track pedestrians, everything. I've seen live videos of the tests being run to see if they do that. And they do. Depending on how advanced the flock stations in your area are, they could be monitoring everything you say and taking live video of you. You get in your car, you start driving. There's a camera in your face in your car judging if you're waking up, high, drunk, whatever the fuck. Hopefully it doesn't shut down three times on the way to work. So now you're surveilled directly in your car. Data being fucking sent everywhere. Your car could possibly be shut down. As you go by each flock station, that's sending your geolocation, all different info about you, scanning your devices, taking video of you, recording your plate. There's a drone overhead, too, as you drive. That's also filming everything and surveilling. Maybe you drive by a masked Gestapo, grabbing a black person or an immigrant or someone that's just Spanish that's a U.S. citizen. You go anywhere in public, cameras everywhere. Eventually, they want a wearable on you. And by eventually, I mean in the next 2 years. Then just everywhere you go, all kind of data is being extracted from that. Let your mind wander with how much data can be extracted by a wearable around your wrist. That's on you 24 hours a day. Plus the other 9 layers I just described to you. Then when you go on the internet, of course, that's all logged for all time. Data center. Another layer of surveillance. What you say, what you do, what you buy. Your kinks. Compromat. That could be used in the future. If need be, all stored neatly away. That's a lot of layers of surveillance, man. There's only one explanation for what could be behind that idea. Do you understand? Does that sound human to you? No, that idea comes from somewhere else, baby. 9 layers of surveillance in 27. That don't come from man, son. Man's like a good little puppet. Making it happen, though. Foe the devil. Coming no matter we want it or not. I think that's obvious to all of us now, isn't it? That's what the story says. That's how I know it's going to happen, no matter what we do. It's too late. It'll last about 5 minutes. Then this all ends. It wouldn't be sustainable anyway. Think about what I just said to you and the money that it would take and resources to keep that going forever and it growing. They don't even have it to where they want it yet. They want more cameras, more drones, more data centers. We already got 5,000. They want more. It's unsustainable. Hate and evil and Satan is expensive, son. Very expensive. I realized something today about Sister Ugboadja, the nun that inbred-ass Mark Wayne and the mass Gestapo grabbed on her way to Mass and threw her in a concentration camp for a minute. Then eventually let her go. I don't know how much later they let her go. How many days, whatever, I can't remember. It doesn't matter. When I read to you what she said yesterday, she did a little interview. There was a bunch of clips. I read you one yesterday. There was something I didn't realize. I realized it, but I didn't put it in the right words. And how I know this woman is really of God, I told you she has the glow of Christ. I could tell by the picture. I don't expect you to understand that. It's something I can see in certain people. But she proved she's of God and she loves God, which is, I can commend that in people because I find it hard to love anything at this moment. And I mean anything. I am disgusted at a level I can't describe. Because I know where this going, son, and where it is right now is a goddamn abomination. So, the whole world. Under Donnie's shitbags. So she proved she was of God by saying this. She said when the Gestapo came to her, she was on her way to Mass, and she asked the Gestapo, the mass murdering Gestapo, sent out by an inbred motherfucker, can I just go to Mass and receive communion? Of course, they said no, took her to the camp. They'll burn in goddamn hell for that. That's beside the point. What was she really saying in that moment when the evil mass murderers came to take her away? What was her priority in that moment? Her husband, her kids, her house, her job, her whatever, her partner, her lesbian partner. Her life? What was her number one concern and priority? Can I please be with my Lord and Savior one last time before you take me away? When you receive communion, what that process is. Christ says in the Bible, this is my body, this is my blood, do this in remembrance of me. Receive this sacrament on a regular basis is what he was commanding his people to do. What are you doing? Well, what is it called? It's called communion. You are communing with Christ the Lord when you receive communion. You are visiting with your Savior. You are communing with the Lord. You are following his instruction to receive the sacrament. I believe he only instructed two, which was baptism and communion. So what was Sister Ugboadja saying at the moment when the mass murderers were there? She has no idea what's going to happen to her. Not, please let me keep my life. Not, please, my husband. I've got kids. My home and job. I'm going to look. Can I please be with my Lord and Savior one more time before you take me away to the concentration camp. You know what you call that, son? That is a woman of God, completely, totally, and utterly. Her main priority, as for all she knew, these men could have took her in an alley and killed her, and yes, we will get there. We've watched executions live on fucking TV by mass cunts. Numerous times, not just once. So let's not play the game of, oh, it's over dramatic to say she feared for her life. Really? Mass cunts with guns that have murdered people on live TV? It's not reasonable to say people would fear for their life in that situation. Come on, son. Come on, charcoal. You know better than that. Again, the point. In that moment of doom, this woman doesn't know what's going to happen to her. Instead of the normal routine that you get from most humans. My house, my job, I got to be somewhere. My kids, my life, please don't hurt me. Nope. She says, can I be with my Lord and Savior one last time before you take me away to the camp? I respect that, son. And that's a hard place to get to, especially in these times. And you know, that's one of the ways you can tell a true person of God. And that woman is worth, I don't know, an infinite supply of mass murdering Gestapo. Just her. To God. And to me. I commend her being there. Because again, I find it hard to love anything at this moment. I look around, I'm just disgusted at everything I see. I guess it doesn't matter, it's all going to end anyway. Home sellers now outnumber buyers by 630,000, the largest gap ever recorded. Ever recorded. Thousands of people haven't paid their mortgage in over a year, and they can't foreclose on the properties or it will tank the banks. This is worse than 2008. Plus, foreclosure is a process. It takes time. So the more homes, the more time it takes. And I remember reading shit just like this in 2008, 2009. Thanks to Bushy Jr. And what took place is people stopped paying their mortgage for fucking 2-3 years. I know a few people that did that. And the bank couldn't keep up with the foreclosures. It took years to handle all the foreclosures. So people just weren't paying it. They were living in their house for fucking years. Until they got, until the bank came a-calling. That's not normal times. Normal times is you miss 3 payments, the bank come a-calling. So when they let you stay for years because the economy, it's an indicator the economy's that bad. That's the only reason you're getting that opportunity. It sounds like we're there again. This is worse than 08, yeah. It reminds me of 08, just that what's written there. And that was bad, son. This is someone from Britain. As hosepipe bans roll out across the UK, know that data centers are using 6.6 million liters a day. It quadrupled in the last 4 years. That's enough to run 1.8 million hose pipes for 5 minutes. It's talking about watering your lawn, stuff like that, running your hose outside. There are restrictions in the UK. Yet they build in data centers that use 6.6 million liters. Now, maybe we understand now why there's so many droughts for the past 20 years, too. I'm sure the data centers aren't helping that process at all with their millions of gallons a minute they fucking use. Trump needs the data centers to prove his mass surveillance system on Americans. Excuse me, to power his mass surveillance system on Americans. The billionaires have told him they need them, so there is no option, as Trump puts it. Donnie needs them too, so they don't need to tell him that they need them. I understand the point they're making, though. And the reason they're saying that is because what I read you yesterday when Donnie was sitting at the table saying data centers are wonderful, they're not disruptive, none of it, they're great. Everybody wants them, they love them. They put a big, gorgeous new plant in a certain location. Unfortunately, there are some who would like to lead us down the opposite path, and I call him the radical left communists. They want to shut down all new developments. In other words, they want to shut my Reich down. No one wants a data center anywhere near them. No one wants data centers in general, except Donnie and the tech bro Reich. That's it. And again, I want you to understand, when Adolf Hitler used the communist, socialist, Marxist words back in his day, in his mind, he always intended to round those fucking people up. He wasn't doing it to win fucking elections. Once he got in, he knew there was going to be no more elections. Just like Donnie. He knew too. Hence all the brazen crime right in your face. Hence the difference from first term, only 50 stock trades. Second term, almost 4,000 stock trades. That should tell you something. Donnie's not afraid of you removing him or voting him out. The brazenness should tell you all you need to know about whether he ever planned on leaving or not. The coup really should have told you. So when Donnie uses these words, setting up the roundup, just like Adolf, it ain't to win elections. There ain't going to be none. Donnie doing a little thing in the White House today, and he's covering up the hand of death, the black hand of death, and it looked like this. And Donnie had the correspondence dinner later. I have some clips at the end for that. Here we go. I thought about again before I read this. On Donnie's right hand, he has that black mark. And that story, we all know. The mark of the beast is supposed to be on the right hand or forehead or in the right hand, either or. And we get the Antichrist, who has a black mark on the outside of his right hand that he has to hide all the time. Fascinating. It's almost like somebody, God, I don't know, trying to tell you, what he's going to do in the future. Want to put that mark on you. Fascinating. Donnie has a mark on his right hand that he's got to cover up and hide. Do see the Nepo hire. There's a parasite that is giving people in the U.S. explosive diarrhea. When is it going to be safe to eat lettuce again? Well, some lettuce is safe, just not Bruce Taylor shit lettuce. Trump, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Are you eating a lot of lettuce, Peter? The president hasn't thought about the fucking diarrhea outbreak because of tainted lettuce, because of one of his donors. Donnie telling you again he doesn't give a flying fuck about you. I mean, he's only president. Why would he give a fuck? I think we'll put major tariffs on Texas, on Mexico because of the lettuce, and we'll put a big tariff on Canada because of the smoke. Why? Because that money goes in my pocket. That's why. Donnie doesn't say, hey, how can I help Mr. Carney and the Canadians with their fire? Maybe I could send some people up there. We can get this handled somehow. Nah, I'm going to tariff them because I really just want to grift. I just want more money to put in my pocket. That's all I'm concerned with. Fuck you. You're talking about blowing up civilian power plants and bridges. Much of the civilized world would consider that a war crime. Do you? Do you think Donnie considers it a war crime? He's still lying about dead schoolgirls that he bombed on day one. I won't respond to that question. Who are you with? Why won't you respond about the war crimes you're committing? Antichrist? Who are you with? The cunty old lady at McDonald's trying to get the server fired. Because how dare you ask the Fuhrer about his war crimes? The fuck is wrong with you? The New York Times. I figured the failing New York Times. Right. My God, he looks fucking horrible, by the way. Jesus. Gack the fuck up. Trump says Israel depends on him for their survival. If I wasn't elected, Israel would, in my opinion, not be around anymore. Yeah, Donnie says that all the time. How do you like that, BB? Israel was around before Donnie was even a thought in our minds. 1948. Iran launches a new round of attacks on Jordan, and right after they became a country, I think they fought like 7 Arab countries at once and won. So no, it ain't because of Donnie. He has nothing to do with it. Iran launches a new round of attacks on Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, with the target of the attacks being U.S. air-based logistics per source close to Iran's Galabaf. Well, I think most of the troops evacuated all the bases in the Middle East, so probably just hitting empty buildings with that. Maybe some radar, too. Okay, this is Aaron Rupar's kind of summation of Donnie's thing today. And I have some clips from it. I've read you a few, and I'd rather just read these summations. Because it's mostly just repeats of shit we've heard for 10 years. The Correspondence Dinner was basically a Trump rally, all his grievances, same thing we always hear every fucking day at every Adolf Hitler rally. And he tried to be a comedian as well. He tried to be charming. I'll wait till I get to it to say more. This is the White House event he had today, not the Correspondence Dinner. Aaron Rupar's assessment. A drowsy Trump mumbles his way through bonkers Oval Office event. You mean a gacked up Trump? Trump just slurred. I can tell by how squint-eyed he is. He's squint-eyed as a motherfucker. His eyes are barely open, and it's not a tired kind of barely open. It's a high as fuck barely open. You probably won't be able to tell. Even from a distance, it's not normal Donnie. The eyes are too squinty. And he's not falling asleep here. That's not what it is. He's gacked the fuck up. Trump just slurred his way through a back and forth with reporters in which he claimed he understands Venezuela because Miss Venezuela always did very well in the Miss Universe pageant, said he trusts Putin and Xi just 1 week after accusing Xi of conspiring to rig the 2020 election against him, admitted he hasn't thought about the parasite giving Americans explosive diarrhea, suggested his energy secretary signed a nuke deal with Saudi Arabia without his knowledge, and accused LeBron James of being racist because he doesn't support him. Suffice it to say that Grandpa's banged up. Here's the blooper reel. No, he was gacked up again. That's what it was, son. That's why he went even past where he usually goes. And I read you a few of those, and I have a few more. I don't have all of them. We don't need to go over all of them. The nuke deal, he pulled the customary when people asked about it. Oh, I don't know. Who the fuck am I, the president or something? Of course he knows it was his fucking idea. Of course there's a grift involved between him and the Saudis for it. Because it's a big deal, son. Enrichment, it's a big deal. So it was his idea, along with the Saudis. He's getting a bunch of money involved in this, whatever, however it goes, always, every day, all day. He knows all about it. He got scared when the press, I don't know. Energy secretary. Nah, man. We'll get to, I think I have that clip. You said Russia and China aren't helping Iran, but Hegseth says they're enabling. What's the difference? I don't know that they're enabling. I will tell you that President Xi said he will not partake, and Putin said the same thing. I trust them. Do you trust dictator Putin or Xi? I don't. And I know Iran is an ally of theirs. China gets most of their oil from Iran, son. So they don't need Iran going down. So they'll get money from China. They'll get help. Yeah, targeting him. China got a bunch of satellites in the sky. So does Vlad. Iran's Vlad's main vassal, weapons manufacturer, everything. Drone manufacturer. Missile manufacturer. So yeah, Vlad, no, even though his asset is running America, Vlad will take any avenue he can, no matter what, no matter who's in charge, to undermine and weaken America in any way possible. So if we're in a fight with Russia's main vassal, of course Vlad's going to help them, give them weapons, targeting it, whatever. China too, main trading partner. Donnie living in fantasy land. He thinks he could just say that in front of us, even though we all know the truth. And we all know Iran's an ally of those two countries. Maybe they will cry uncle, or maybe they'll just give up, or maybe they'll go into a cave and hide. He's talking about Iran. Yeah, we're 6 months in. Does it look like Iran's going into a cave and hiding, son? No, it looks like the United States got its ass whooped. Iran's running the entire situation. And the Israelis are sitting home, literally afraid of the wish. When the Israelis, I'm talking about Bibi and his people, not the whole country, calm down. When the Israelis said, for 40 years, can we just find a genie in a bottle? And when we rub it, our first wish will be, we have the American military at our disposal, and we can bomb Iran for a year straight, or shock and awe them, and they'll surrender in 5 minutes. And we can build that temple, and it'll be great. After 40 years of begging every U.S. president, the bottle shows up. The genie. And BB rubs it. And the genie pops out, says, you get 3 wishes, BB. I want America's military to bomb Iran with me. I want them at my disposal. Genie says, okay, makes it happen. BB's bombing, Donnie bombing, everybody having a good time. 5 months in, BB and Smotrich are sitting home eating dinner, and they scared shitless about starting shit with Iran again. While Donnie's bombing alone. And Donnie got to lie and say the Israelis will help him in 2 minutes if he asks. Why ain't they helping now? Why you got to ask? And then Smotrich says, we're not interested in fucking with Iran right now. Again, the genie, you wished for that genie for 40 years, man. So do you think Iran's going to go hide in a cave? It looks like Israel hiding in a cave right now, son. And it looked like Donnie's wasting bombs. 13 days in a row. Has Iran budged? Did they budge during the last bombing campaign? Did they budge during the campaign before that? Did they budge during the campaign last year? Not a goddamn inch. So I don't think they're going to go hide in a cave. I see BB and Smotrich are hiding in a cave, though, which is astounding to me. I didn't expect this. I expect the U.S. military to steamroll every adversary. I didn't foresee Iran. I didn't realize. I never really took a look at the situation. I thought it was because Iran had a nuke that America never invaded them. They could have one. But now that I look at the terrain, the choke point of the strait, the makeup of their country, and then I realize, I add to that, they got into drone manufacturing. They became the leading drone manufacturer. And they've been manufacturing missiles for a long time. And they've been preparing for decades for this fight against America and Israel. They knew it was coming eventually. And they are an utter stumbling block to everything. And they run in shit right now. I'm fucking amazed. And Lindsey Graham and fucking Mitch McConnell are dead. That's kind of a shocker in the midst of this. It's insane. They ain't hiding in no cave. Bibi is, though. If I wasn't here, there'd probably be no Middle East. So not Donnie saved Israel and he saved the Middle East. And without him, there wouldn't be either one, even though they've both been there thousands of years. Well, Israel just got reborn in 1948. Trump on the New York Times reporting on the security vulnerability of the Qatari bride plane. The journalists know they shouldn't be giving info out like that particular info. No, they don't. They can give that out. It wasn't classified. And the press, can you do me a favor? Don't write any more stories about the bride plane. Leave it alone. I've seen this in a whole new light. And, you shouldn't even have wrote the first articles. If Donnie wants to fly the plane, let him fly the plane. Donnie knows better, right? Let him fly it. He wants to. We wouldn't be forcing him or anything. Leave him alone. Encourage him to get on the bride plane if he wants to use it. He loves it. The journalist didn't do anything wrong. He did by sending illegal subpoenas. Do you think it's appropriate to subpoena family members of journalists to find out info? I just said it. I don't know. Barack Hussein Obama did it all the time. He went after journalists and nobody said anything about it. No, he didn't. No, he did not. Oh my God. Barack wasn't calling the press the enemy of the fucking people for 10 years straight out of fucking Mein Kampf. That's how transparently Hitler it was. By the way, you fucking sheep out there. In 2015, that is. The New York Times is the enemy of the people. He might as well have been doing a Nazi salute and had a little square fucking mustache. That's how transparently Adolf Hitler it was. Donnie's not a creative guy. He took that straight from Nazi Germany and Adolf's mouth. And that would have been evident, I don't know, to a 9-year-old in his first history class. That's how clear it was. Why I hate you as well. No, Barack wasn't going after journalists. We didn't have a Reich under Barack. That's a goddamn joke. Barack wasn't sending mass Gestapo out. Barack wasn't opening concentration camps. Fuck out of here. Barack wasn't making a spectacle out of deportations intentionally. Barack wasn't being intentionally cruel. And Barack deported a damn lot of people, by the way. Because he knows if he didn't, you would have crucified him. Did you authorize Secretary Wright to sign the Saudi nuclear deal? If not, why did he sign it? Trump, we didn't talk about it. Get the fuck out. I mean, every time Donnie gets caught with his hand in a fucking cookie jar. I don't know. What am I, the president? What do I make decisions or something? He makes every fucking decision. These people, these sycophants, they so scared to displease him. My God, they know that any one of them could be fired at any second. Bondi gone, Bovino gone, Noam gone. He knows everything about it. He made the deal himself, and I'm sure he made a nice penny off of it, or he will in the future. And that's any deal he makes. Covers them all. But he pulled the typical Donnie when mommy catches the little child with his hand in the cookie jar doing something horrible. I don't know. It's that other guy. What am I, president or something? I hate you. I forgot he got enriched material from Venezuela. Stole that from them along with the oil. So he may give that material to the Saudis. Or again, he could, with those comments I read to you, he could in his warped mind thinking, I'm going to steal the enriched material from Iran. I'm going to give it to the Saudis. That's what this whole thing is about. It's a message to Iran and the world and nana boo boo and all that. Could be that. He could give them what he's took from Venezuela. Donnie said that out loud, that he got that material. Trump threatens major escalation against Iran. We can take it to a much higher level if we want to. We're prepared to do that. We're locked and loaded and ready to go. And you know what that means, son, don't you? Of course you fucking do. That means nuclear. Could that be market manipulation? Because he said shit like this a bunch of times. A civilization's gonna die today, says the goddamn Antichrist with a load of shit in his diaper. We've heard this rhetoric before. This is round, I don't know, 4 of bombing in the last 5 months where this type rhetoric was used. No matter why he's using it. It's the Antichrist for about the fourth time threatening to nuke Iran straight up. That's what he's saying, and we all fucking know it. We know what the next level means. Much higher level. We know what that means. It would involve radiation. He's saying that outright right here, for about the fourth time, fifth time in 5 months. Out loud in front of all of us. I fucking hate you. Why? Because one day he gonna follow through on that shit. And I knew that 10 years ago. If he were allowed to have his Reich. He staged a coup the first time to keep it. It didn't succeed. Not enough people went along. Like Pence didn't get in a limo and get fucking killed in a back alley or whatever the fuck they were gonna do with him. Probably you're going to just tie him up, throw him in the trunk till the process was over. That's probably what they would do. And they'd be like, oh, sorry about that, Mike. Don't worry, the coup worked. We're good. We're never leaving. You can get out the trunk now. Or maybe they just execute him after that. For not going along. Donnie's a pretty vindictive scumbag, throwing rocks at babies and shit. That's real, son. And son, that ain't even close to the worst thing he's done. We can take it to a much higher level if we want to. About the fifth time we've heard that. Outright nuclear rhetoric regarding Iran. He's the Antichrist. He's asked about using nuclear weapons in the first term and the second, before, behind closed doors. This is the fourth or fifth time he said it out loud in front of us. I'm repeating it for a reason. He's the Antichrist. It's fucking obligatory, son. Of course he's going to shoot one. Again, will it be on Iran in this conflict? I don't know. But will it be before he leaves? Yep. He's the Antichrist. He has to. It's obligatory. And I hate you. As far as elections in Venezuela, they're not really ready for them yet. Delcy has been doing a fantastic job. The amount of oil coming out of Venezuela, we're taking a lot. Donnie had to make sure it was about him and the oil he's stealing and the money he's stealing and putting in a Qatari bank account that he will never give you any of. Still has the leader of that country and his wife in captivity. Killed 200 boatmen down there, 80 more on land to make this happen. Kidnapped the leader of the country, still has them in captivity, stealing their oil, stealing their rich material, anything he can get from Delcy. Annex the country and their resources. Exactly what I said he'd do before the election and after you elected him. Once again, bragging about stealing a country's oil and keeping the money for himself and putting it in a Qatari bank account. I hate you. Our country's over, and so's the world. Would you be cool if Obama, the black guy, was doing this? Would you be cool if Joe Biden was doing it? I already know the answer. I knew it before I asked you the question. I know you better than yourself, son. That's why it's over. Your answer. That's why it's over. Oh, this is Leon in his interview the other day. That thumbnail I used yesterday, that was Leon doing the white power hand sign, and on purpose, on camera. That's why I used it. And funny, this came up in the interview. I didn't see this yesterday. And it looks like this. And Jim Stewartson is the one who posted the white power hand sign picture. That's where I got it from. People say that you're a racist, the interviewer says. The Nazi salute was kind of an indicator, wasn't it? Leon, My partner is half Indian, and I have 4 children with her. So I would say I'm not racist. I have a black friend. Therefore, I am not racist. That's the argument. Anyone who makes that argument, you're a goddamn racist. It is the literal racist's argument. You know, I was with a black girl once. I can't hate black people. You know what I'm saying? I have a black neighbor I invited over for dinner a couple times. I can't be a racist. Stephen Miller, another abject fucking Nazi racist, even though he's a fucking Jew. His wife is a brown skin. Is she Indian? I don't even know. Leon rocking a half Indian woman. There's another one I can't think of right now. What's Fat Fuck Johnny that shot Miss Good? He's got a what, Vietnamese mail order bride or something. And she's darker skinned. She's not like fair and like light color skin. What is it with all you abject racists and Nazis who end up with brown skinned women? Yet you hate all those races. Leon too. He did the Nazi salute, man. That means something. There's a reason people do it. There's a whole connotation and meaning behind it. It's a expression to the world of what you believe, what Adolf Hitler believed. So everything he believed, you believe. That's why you're throwing it up there. That's what it means. I don't care what anyone else thinks it means. That's what it means. So he told the whole world, I'm an abject racist in the image of Adolf Hitler, who threw ethnic minorities in camps and killed them. But I got a half Indian girlfriend who I knocked up a few times. Via IVF, of course, because I'm really gay. He really said it, son. I got a half Indian girlfriend, wife, whatever, partner who I've had sex with, which resulted in children. I can't be a racist, son. Stephen Miller got a copper-skinned woman from India or wherever. He can't be a racist. Right, son? Even though that woman spends a lot of time with Leon, you know what I'm saying? Make it make sense. How the highest level Nazis all have brown-skinned women, yet they hate all ethnic minorities that aren't white. Can you make that make sense? I guess that thing that women got is that good, huh? Makes you forget you're a goddamn racist. It's like, oh shit, this is good. Oh man, that ass looks good. I don't even care that it's black or Latin or whatever. That's these people's existence. I've slept with an ethnic minority. That's what Leon's saying, and which resulted in children, so I can't be a racist. It's the I have a black friend argument. All racists make that argument. I've heard it so many times with public figures that are known racists that get accused of racism. Government people that get accused of racism. Was it Meadows or Kennedy? Not Brainworm Kennedy, the other Kennedy in Congress, that got accused of racism in the first term, and He talked about how he had black nephews or something. It's the racist argument for not being a racist. Okay. Fuck was it? China directly rejects Trump's latest Truth Social claim that Xi told him China would not sell weapons to Iran under any circumstance, saying, as a comprehensive strategic partner, China strongly supports Iran in safeguarding its sovereignty, security, and national dignity. That means, fuck you, Donnie. We're going to give Iran intelligence, money, weapons, and we buy all our oil from them. They're our main oil, supplier. So we with them. Fuck you. And Vlad says the same thing. Plus, Vlad got the compromat, son. So China outright denying they even talked to the motherfucker. The U.S. is implementing a readiness project. Before I read this, let me say this. The crazy guy in sunglasses was yelling for 10 years so you wouldn't have to go through this. What I'm about to read to you. And it will affect the young and the old and the liberal and the non-liberal. They may try and target the people they draft, by the way, by looking at voting and other things. That's what you've done. The U.S. is implementing a readiness project to test a large-scale national mobilization scenarios per Wall Street Journal. This shift coincides with a new rule taking effect in December 2026 to automatically register men 18 to 26 using federal data sources. Oh, God. And we know what those are. Everything they gather on us. The private companies that they use to avoid the laws of the United States so they can surveil our every breath. That makes it legal. All you got to do is incorporate. And then the government and the CIA can use you every day, all day, and give you money. As long as you vow to be a scumbag peeping Tom. For all time. That's how you'll all be remembered. Well beyond this life, son. Obviously, this was planned ahead of time. Somebody changed and made a law that by December 26, the system will automatically register every young man up to 26 years old for the draft. Why would they do that, son? All you who knew better, all you that voted for this, a lot of you got kids in the military. I know that about you. The people that didn't vote for this, that hate all this, your kid is in jeopardy as well. Maybe even targeted. Because of what you stand for or what they stand for. Via federal data. Sources, they say. The people that run this world since the beginning have looked at things a certain way. The eugenics thought that's from day one, straight from Satan. And it surfaces all the time among the elite peoples of this world, no matter what era it is. So, war by the elite people of this world that shape culture and aim us and herd us into all these different directions. They look at war as a eugenics program. Not just to achieve whatever corporate aims are involved in that war, or whatever aims are involved in that war. It is a culling process. They always look at the planet as there's too many humans on it. We need to get rid of some. The Georgia Guidestones, again, are evidence in stone of what the elite peoples of the world believe. And they're doing that right now. And they've been doing it for a long time, but now it's an accelerated on satanic steroids thing. It's the place it was always going as they were doing this for thousands of years. The place the devil was always trying to get to. Why all regulations are being loosened, why everything's being sold off, why diseases in food, tainted this, tainted that, pollution, nothing's a concern anymore. It's going to be Mordor by the end. I told you that. Look at the White House grounds, son. That's our future. These people are straight eugenicists. All those programs, the aid cuts, that was intended for millions to die. You understand that? War is a culling process. They intend to draft you motherfuckers. Do you fucking understand that? I'm 50 goddamn years old. Hopefully they won't get desperate enough to throw me in there, but you know, you never know. I won't be fighting for the Reich, though. That's not going to happen. But a lot of you out there that voted for this and didn't, you got kids, 20s, 30s, in the military. Maybe younger than that. You got kids just out there, 18 to 26 years old. They all gonna be registered automatic, son, for a draft. That was planned a while ago. They wouldn't have done this for no reason. It's a telegraphing of a plan. I'm sorry. So again, all of you out there that knew better, I hope you don't got a kid 18 to 26. Because it looks like they're going to use them for cannon fodder. And in their eyes, they'll look at it as a culling process. And Donnie literally wants to take over the world. That's going to take a lot of guns and deaths. That's where your kid comes in. This is what I was trying to save you from. It wasn't totally selfless, don't get me wrong. I was trying to save myself as well. Save this country, this world, everything. Many people were. I don't think that many knew what was truly at stake, though. I don't know. It sounds to me, since they made this change to effective December 2026, everyone 18 to 26 is automatically using government sources, which is Flock and everything else, data collected on people. Automatically put you in a draft, son. Do you think they do that for no reason? Or do you think they intend to draft you? It's that crazy, it's that evil, and it's more than possible. It's likely. Why this wasn't a game. It definitely ain't a game no more to them 18 families that lost soldiers. They get it now, I'm sure. Looks like we about to lose a lot more. And you won't have a choice in the matter, whether you join or not. That's a problem for them. They can't have that. They got big plans. By they, I mean the Reich. You know who the Reich is. Those big plans involve the hand of Satan. That's your kid that they'll draft. I wish, and you will wish, don't worry, that you took this more seriously. Your future, your kids' future, the future of our country, the future of our world. I wish you didn't equate it to WWE. I wish I didn't have to yell for 10 years. I wish you were smart enough not to join up with Russian trolls and Russian talking points and fascist talking points. I wish you were better than you are. Why? Because we might still have a future. And I wouldn't have to be on here talking about the Antichrist, the end of our fucking country and world. all because you didn't take it seriously. It was a game to be won. And that's all that mattered. Not policy, not your future, not your kids' future, not the country, not the Constitution, not the world, nothing. Just a stupid football game to be won. No matter if that win involved running with Satan, literally. This ain't just a bad guy, it's the Antichrist, and you don't have to believe it again. Your world's still over. I'm sorry. I didn't want it to be. I begged you not to do it. With every bit of power I had. And it has cost me, son. I shouldn't even be on here right fucking now. I should be fucking sleeping. They're going to draft your kids. If you voted for this guy, this madman who staged a coup, this pedophile, because you knew better, you thought it was funny, he gonna draft your kids. Venezuela cut ties with Israel 17 years ago. This is the new puppet president we installed in Venezuela, meeting with the IDF this week. I wonder if this is why we kidnapped Maduro. Well, for many reasons, but not being cooperative with Israel, is, I'm sure, was on the table was as one of the reasons. Really, the oil reserves, Donnie needed that oil for his world domination tour. Open his own gas stations. Sell our oil reserves. Sell Venezuela's oil reserves at the same time. Run your own gas station. Which he's doing right now. This is the picture of Delcy, the one who Donnie likes because she lets him steal whatever he wants. Meeting with the IDF. So now, Israel has access to Venezuela and all that oil and all that great stuff too. I didn't know about this nuance to the relationship between Venezuela and this situation and Israel and all that. Had no idea about it. I'm so glad this person pointed it out. Well done. No wonder Donnie likes her. The food stamp lady or SNAP lady, Katie Berg, she keeps track of it. She's an expert. And here's the entirely foreseeable result of a law that imposes massive penalties if states give families the wrong amount of SNAP benefits, but no penalties if they make it virtually impossible for eligible families to get benefits in the first place. Look, it's not easy to get welfare in this country. There are hoops, son. And they made it way harder, and hundreds of thousands of people have been cut the fuck off. Eugenics, like I said, intentional. No to St. Alex Jones 30 years ago. I wish it goddamn was. This time, it's fucking real. And it ain't the people you thought it was, son. What a damn shame. The number of Nebraskans receiving public food aid has declined nearly 17%, or by about 25,000 people. That's just in Nebraska. Now, more will be cut off as time goes by. 25,000 people that were receiving food assistance or whatever, some of them children, in that number. In one state. That's happening all across the country. That's Haggard, Brooke Rollins, and the goddamn Antichrist, preaching the gospel of stealing food and the money for that, putting it in their pockets, out of the poorest people's mouths. We talking hellfire, son. I doubt God will take that lightly. In fact, I know he won't take that. I wouldn't want that on my resume. A couple million people don't eat no more because of me. Yeah, I wouldn't want that on my resume, son. Wouldn't want to be nowhere near it. You know, like locking nuns up in concentration camps. I get heebie-jeebies from that. I get heebie-jeebies from any human preaching the gospel or making that happen. A couple million Americans not eating anymore. Especially the poorest. I get a vibe from that, like bodies in fire. It's not a good feeling. Oh, we finally made it to the correspondence dinner. That means I'm almost done this piece of shit. What a piece of shit, it starts off with. Overall, Donnie was evil as fuck. It was a campaign rally, all his grievances, and he tried to be, again, charming as if he were Barack Obama or something. Barack Obama has charm. He can tell jokes. He can light up a room. He's a charming dude. Donnie is not. Never was. Never will be. He does think he's charming, though. So he was trying to crack these fucked up, horrible jokes. And a lot of them had racial evil and hatred behind them. The room was like silent most of the time. They shouldn't even be there, first of all, with this fucking guy. Nobody walked out. He insulted all of them. He said horrible things about so many people. And it wasn't lighthearted and, it wasn't that like it's supposed to be. Let me just read some. What a piece of shit, says the poster call to activism. Trump targets Caitlin Collins, saying she shouldn't have won her fake award and says she should smile more. They gave some awards out to the press. I believe Caitlin Collins won one. Someone won one for a photo of Donnie, of course. It wasn't a flattering one, though. Someone won an award for an investigation into Donnie and Epstein. It was cringe. It was embarrassing. It was like a comedian up there trying to be funny and not one person was laughing. And a little bit of Satan thrown in. So Donnie hates Caitlin Collins and she shouldn't have won her award and she should smile more. He then jokes that she resembles transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney before going on a transphobic rant. Trump is a sexist, disgusting monster. Yeah, I didn't understand what that Dylan Mulvaney comment meant when he made it. I read it earlier. Now I get it. Caitlin Collins is a young, attractive woman. She never smiles. Do you ever smile? I thought she had really made it big with a major new sponsorship, but then I informed her that it was not her on the Bud Light can. It was Dylan Mulvaney. I can't really say much on that because I don't know who Dylan Mulvaney is. This person before just said they're a transgender activist. So Donnie was basically saying she looks like a man. That's yet she says in the opening, she's a young, attractive woman. Then it's a joke about her looking like a transgender person. Antichrist. Congratulations, Andrew Harnick, who just won an award at tonight's White House Correspondents' Dinner for this photo, showing what an unbelievable asshole Donald Trump is. The Getty journalist who captured the moment, Trump did nothing as his guest fainted at the White House, just won an award for the image. Donnie's sitting there. with these journalists. He's either about to or already given a horrid speech full of terrible jokes and insults and Satan and just cringe. And one of the journalists, the photographer, gets an award for a picture of Donnie standing there as everyone else is attending to the passed out person. And Donnie's pissed because they ruined his moment. They took the attention away. It's so strange. I remember it like it was yesterday. He's just staring forward like, can we get this asshole off the floor so I can, continue? Fucking up my big Hitler moment here. Oh my God. And he's sitting right there after his cringe speech where he's about to do his... And reporters are winning award after award regarding his horrible, abominable life. Must have been awkward in that room, huh? Jim Acosta. The Stinner is a disgrace. Trump's rambling, unhinged speech is full of hate and spite, just spewing nastiness as his usual targets. Let's not sanitize how truly ugly it was. This would be a great moment for members of the press to get up and walk out. Right. Don't just sit there and partake and have a party. Make a statement, man. They never do, though. They normalize the end. The end of everything. I'm sorry. I didn't want it. Jim Stewartson talking about the dinner. He has a picture of Donnie here at the bottom. Looks like the goddamn hunchback of Notre Dame or something. There has never been a better example of a malignant narcissist terrified of death and wanting to take everything with him. Yep, Donnie's here to ruin and destroy, and he has a vendetta against everything and everyone, son. And he dying, and he miserable, and he fat, and he in a shitty dipper, and he hates you, and he hates the world. Wanting to take everyone with him. Yep, Jim, right on that, motherfucker. But you people have no idea how lucky you are when I'm gone. You're all going to be broke. When Donnie left his first term, we were in abject recession. The economy was fucking ass. It took years to recover. We back there again. $5 gas, $4 gas. Everything costs even more than Joe Biden's first day. Got global war. Got Gestapo killing people, concentration camps. That's the short list. Your business model is going to be finished. No, it's true. When I'm not around, you're going to be broke. There's not going to be anybody to report on. No one gives a damn about anyone else. Nobody gives a damn about anybody else. That's what he actually said. As if we didn't have 24-hour news, wars, events, political events, speeches before Donnie. Actually, Donnie and his friends buying up all the networks and social media sites, they've all lost fucking billions on that endeavor because they Reichify and everything slowly. And people have lost interest. They don't want Reichified. They want real news. Donnie and Ellison and others, and Leon with X, Google with what they own, they all turned it into Reichification. Nobody wants that. So they all lost billions, son. That's the Donnie shitbags effect. And we had, and the press had, more money. Their networks were doing better. More to talk about. And they did better work before this fat cunt came along on the scene and bought up everything with, through his proxies. Him and Vlad. Now all the networks, their ratings are fucking terrible. No one gives a fuck. He is the death knell of everything. And we had plenty to talk about before him. We'll have plenty to talk about after him, if there's an after. I doubt there is, though. I think the after will be us talking about how Donnie's in the goddamn lake. He really believes this, though. They'd have nothing to talk about if he wasn't around. Actually, they had more to talk about, and the networks were doing better and they were making money. And people watched them. Now they don't. It's the exact opposite. This speech is horrific. The audience is in stunned silence. Trump attacks Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Steve Colbert as talentless, then calls Senator Adam Schiff an ugly watermelon head and a pencil neck. Trump is the biggest embarrassment in history. The synopsis instead of comment after comment. That's why I read that to you. Donnie, I want to personally congratulate CNN's Caitlin Collins on receiving her award. How has he not gotten her fired yet? Maybe he just digs her too much. He doesn't want her to go away. I know he does dig her. He's attracted to her. I know that. I get it. It was all about me. It was a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. Again, the Correspondents' Dinner is supposed to be lighthearted. Yeah, you can bust on the press, but it's supposed to be lighthearted, not like your stories are fake as fuck. And you're a liar. Because I'm a pedophile and I'm trying to hide it. That's not what it's supposed to be. It was all about me. It was a fake. She shouldn't get the award. It was a fake, but I didn't mind. I said, Caitlin, congratulations, but it was fake. There's no question about it. She's a young, attractive woman. She never smiles. I said, Caitlin, do you ever smile? Smile. You have a nice position. You're at CNN Fake News. You should be a happy person. So smile. Caitlin, just smile. Oh my God. Can you imagine the cringe in the room as this was being said out loud? Oh my God. And how many times have we gotten the speech about Caitlin Collins, how she's a young, attractive woman that never smiles? Yeah, we know you want to fuck her, Donnie. We get it. Oh my God. So when people say the room was silent and it was cringe as fuck, this is what they talking about. This taking shit to a very dark place. He's the president and he's like picking on a female reporter personally all the time. Again, it's supposed to be kind of a lighthearted evening where the press gets out a few awards. The president cracks some jokes on them. They crack some jokes on him. That's what it's supposed to be. Then there's the Antichrist Correspondents' Dinner. That's a whole different animal than the usual Correspondents' Dinner. This is the president of the U.S. insulting a political opponent. Ilhan Omar and her brother are thinking about moving together, very much in love. She should get the hell out of our country. Oh my God, can you imagine? Again, it was a Trump rally with some fucked up jokes thrown in. And a lot of the jokes had this kind of tone. Ilhan Omar's gonna move in with her brother, ho ho ho. I want to date my daughter. If Donnie wants to talk about family, let's talk about family, son. If she wasn't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. Didn't he say that out loud? And the party of family values voted for that, son. Notice how Ivanka recoils during several moments with Donnie in public. You know what it is, son. It was never Biden's son. You know what it is. And you voted for it. That's going to be a problem between you and the man. Remarkable camera angle of President Trump as he listens to Wall Street Journal reporters receiving an award for their investigation into Trump's relationship with Jeff Epstein, which they pursued despite Trump's threats and lawsuit. Is that the award that went to Caitlin Collins? I don't know. Some journalists got an award for their Epstein work regarding Donnie and Epstein. While he's sitting there. Perhaps that was Caitlin Collins, since he was saying her work was fake regarding him, that award she got. Maybe this is what he was talking about, the Epstein Award. Can you imagine him sitting right there, they announcing this? I know exactly what Donnie thinks. He want to execute some motherfuckers. Not joking in the slightest. That's where Donnie taking this. That's where he always wanted to take it. You understand that, right? Some already been executed, just not by him. He just sends the murderers out. And then rewards them and hides them and shelters them later. Trump jokes about serving a third term and gets laughs at the White House dinner. Yeah, that's real funny. I'm sure you would have loved if Obama and Biden joked about a third term all the time, right, assholes? Right. I'm sure you would have loved that. Wolf Blitzer just presented the Wall Street Journal an award for uncovering Trump's ties to Epstein and reveals Trump docks the journalist's home address in his lawsuit, causing her to move. Trump is sitting humiliated as Carolyn Levitt comforts him. This is unreal. Oh, fuck. Can you imagine, son? A journalist got an award regarding an article regarding Donnie's pedophilia and Jeff Epstein's pedophilia while he's sitting right there. Oh my God. Of course, Donnie doxed her address. You know why he did that, right? Trying to get her killed. He's done this multiple times to multiple people. He knows exactly what he's doing. It's the intent. Jim Stewartson again talking about Donnie. Jesus Christ. Look at this fucking animal. He's insane, but tonight's event is even crazier than the last time. In fact, it's so successful that I've been informed. Excuse me. Jim Stewartson is saying he's insane. Now it's a Donnie quote. But tonight's event is even crazier than the last time. In fact, it's so successful that I've been informed by CBS News. David Ellison, who's going to do a fan, he's the owner. He bought it, spent a lot of money, and he's going to make, I think, fantastic changes and keep some of the great stuff going. But the next year, they're going to call it the Trump White House correspondent dinner. Oh my God. Is that supposed to be a joke, which will turn out being real because Donnie actually does that with the Kennedy Center or whatever? He told me that, and I like that very much. You're going to change the name of it? Okay. Well, it's going to be so hot, just like our country is hot. Sounds like he's serious to me. It's just about the only way that they're gonna ever get me back here. You're gonna have to change the name of the dinner. I don't think he's kidding. Even if he's presenting it as a joke, it doesn't sound like a joke to me. Eesh. I think he ended it with this. I am pleased to announce my intention to run for a fourth term as president of the U.S. I will be doing that. I won 3 times now. Now I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it. I won 3 times. Did very well the second time, by the way, rigged election. He says that literally in rallies. So that ain't a joke, son. Even if he might be presenting it as one, we all know it ain't. That's a straight up rally statement right there. He said many times. The premise of it, the delusional premise, as if he won 3 elections when he only won 2. He's counting Joe Biden's win as his, in his premise for his delusional joke here at the dinner, serious everywhere else when he says it. I fucking hate you. The traitor betraying the Constitution can't even speak reality. Okay, I'm going to take a 3rd term, not a 4th, a 3rd. He's that delusional, that psychotic, that sociopathic, and we're that fucked. And that means everybody. Not just the people you don't like. Donnie put the hat on after he said that. It has been an interesting evening. I did not really know what to expect, and it is far worse than I actually thought, if you want to know the truth, Donnie. Everyone said he bombed. It was horrible. It was cringe. I think you get the point. The cunt put the hat on after he made the joke about running for not a 3rd term, a 4th one. You cunts, I hate you. And he looked like this with his awesome Chinese-made hat on. The irony, and I don't expect you idiots that support this out there to understand what I'm about to say. The irony of a slogan, "Make America Great Again," on a hat made in fucking China. That's why it's over, son. Because people talking about, patriot, I'm about America, America first, as they walk around with a slogan regarding the greatness of America, stitched by a Chinese sweatshop worker. That level of irony, I don't expect most people to understand. That level of irony takes place when it's the end. It's over. I don't know what else to say. Don't take the mark. Have a wonderful evening. Please hit the PayPal or Zelle. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Until next time. Have a wonderful evening.